we have a special feature. Mahatma Nitya Shivananda of the Nithyananda Hindu Temple, Ohio, talks about how the temple happened.
I would love to share the story of how the Nithyananda Hindu Temple of Ohio, which was consecrated by Paramahamsa Nithyananda in 2006. It's a very interesting story. Usually for a temple to happen, it takes years of planning or even lot of people to be there to plan. In 2005, Swamiji came to Columbus and he visioned that there is a temple going to happen within a year. And he came in April and he said this would happen before his Jayanti, which was December 31st. I myself could not believe it. He gave me the responsibility of bringing it and I could not comprehend it. And I told Swamiji next day, I really cannot do it, but he said, well, this will happen when Swami ordains. So then I believed, and after that we looked for the building, and it was a beautiful building on a river where the two rivers unite, and this building had everything we need for a temple, but it was out of our reach, and still I cannot comprehend how this is possible. But when we showed it to Swamiji, Swamiji said Nithyananda is coming there, and Swamiji inaugurated it on 2006 April 14th, which is Tamil New Year's Day. It was a beautiful experience for all of us because he landed on a snowy day. Because we could not take them through the front doors, they had to land from the back. We had to take a wall and they landed. And it was almost like they were coming from the sky. I still remember the sight, how exciting it was. All of us were so excited. In 0-degree cold weather in Kailash, they were landing. And with them landed Ganesha and Subramanya. Actually, they are situated the same way that they are sitting in Kailash. So it's a very special temple. It's the first temple, and the whole Sangha was there to celebrate it at that time. And we had a Kumbh Mela, and the inauguration was just a sight to see. So many people had so many experiences that day, the day of the inauguration. So a lot of stories people have about that day. Master happens in a city where even few disciples are desiring that.
என் பேர் முருகேசன். நான் சேலத்தில் இருக்கேன். நான் வந்து வெள்ளி வேலை செய்கிறேன், கால் செயின் வேலை. ஆனால் சாமியை பார்க்கும்போது நான் வெள்ளி வேலை, கூலி வேலை செஞ்சிட்டு இருந்தேன். ஆனால் எனக்குள்ளே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பலவிதமான கனவுகளும் கற்பனைகளுமாகவே இருக்கும். ஆனால் எதுவும் நிறைவேற்றிக்க முடியலைங்கிற அந்த உணர்வு எனக்குள்ளார ஒரு வேதனையாகவும் வலியாகவும் இருக்கும். அது என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா என்னால் சிரிக்கவே முடியாது. அது எப்படி சரியாக பண்ணுறதுன்னே தெரியாது. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு நிலையில் நான் வாழ்ந்துட்டு இருந்தேன். ஆனால் அதுக்கப்புறம் சாமியோடைய அந்த கதவை திற காற்று புக்கு படிக்க ஆரம்பித்தேன். அந்த சாமியோடைய மாதியதில் கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் படித்த உடனே எனக்குள்ளார ஒரு பெரிய சாமியோடைய அந்த தொடரை படிக்கும்போது எனக்குள்ளே பெரிய உற்சாகம். ஏன்னா எனக்குள்ளே பெரிய வலி வேதனை இருக்கிறது அந்த புஸ்தகத்தில் இருக்கிற சில வரிகளே என்னை பெரிய அளவில் உயர்த்துதுங்கிறப்ப எனக்கு அது பெரிய ஒரு என் கூடயே இருந்து எனக்கு ஏதோ பெரிய வழிகாட்டுற மாதிரி இருந்தது அந்த புத்தகம். 2005 சாமியை பார்த்தேன். சேலம் வந்திருந்தாங்க. அப்போ போய் நேரில் பார்த்தேன். அவர் சச்சங்கத்தை கலந்துக்கிறதுக்கப்புறம் இந்த தியான முகாம் நடந்தது. அதில் நான் 2 நாள் ஏஎஸ்பி ஆனந்த ஸ்பூர்ணா தியான முகாம் கலந்துக்கிறதுக்கப்புறம் தான் அந்த ஆனந்தங்கிற உணர்வு அந்த 2 நாள் தியான முகாமில் தான் எனக்கு கிடைச்சிது. அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் சிரிக்கணுங்கிற ஒரு உணர்வு எனக்குள்ளே வந்தது. அதனால தான் அந்த குருநாதரை என்னுடைய சாமியை தெய்வமாகவே என்னால் பார்க்க முடியாது. காரணம் எனக்குள்ளே எந்த பிரச்சனை வந்தாலும் என்னை சிரிக்க வச்சுட்டே இருப்பார். ஆனந்தமாகவே இருக்கு. அவருடைய 2 வரி படித்தா போதும். எனக்கு குருநாதர் கிடைச்சது எனக்கு ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு பொக்கிஷம், ஒரு புண்ணியம்.
Any item that has been worn by an incarnation becomes an object worthy of worship, and the place it is preserved becomes a temple, protecting and blessing the entire space around. Now, you also have an opportunity to take home a turban personally used by Swamiji, padukas personally used by Swamiji and transform your home into a temple. Nithyananda Galleria is conducting an auction of these items, the proceeds of which go towards sponsoring the education of needy children of Nithyananda Gurukul in India.
When we started to study for our 10th exam, we had practice exam. First exam I got low mark, so after that I declared that I'll be authentic and I studied from the right context. I got A star in the second exam. So I understood from this, if you do anything from right context or authenticity, you can achieve more. I was having shyness to speak front of the group. Yesterday Swamiji asked Mahayoga to speak front of the group without shyness. He told, "You are my child." So from that context, I came to Vakya Sadas and today spoke. I understood that if you do anything from right context, you can break anything.
So from what I learned from Swamiji is, it is not about what you have. It is about the resources, the people, the things that you have. It's about the space that you're holding inside you. That is what is going to make things as a possibility, as opposed to my earlier mental setup of I need to have ABC to make something a reality.
I really realized that if your intention is really strong and you're very, very authentic to your cause and what you really want to happen, you will find many thousands, maybe even millions of people just supporting you and just standing by you and making it happen for you. And I'm also seeing it off late happening for me that, there are some 10 things all of a sudden starting to move for me. So it has become quite a bit of an eye-opener for me, and I am seeing things in a much wider and more authentic way. And I'm seeing the higher possibility.
So creating a space is a must, but it is not the only thing required. Along with creating a space, we have to take responsibility for that space to become a reality, right? Because all of us can create a space, I want to become an enlightened being, but if you're not aligning your actions to it, if you're not taking responsibility to act in alignment with the space that you're creating, the space will not become reality.
Swamiji sees, in spite of all our flaws and mistakes, he sees possibility. We all, it's our life that we seeing it around him. It is because he sees us as we are, as consciousness, pure consciousness, not as who we think we are. So aligning ourselves to his context, that is aligning ourselves to the space of that we are consciousness, identifying ourselves not with any of the mind or the mind-body complex or that I am, that is when the authenticity happens, and that is when we will also start living to the highest possibility that he sees in us, I understand.
During Shivaham process, I felt the drum beating and all the music was happening in my Ananda Gandha. It was in the system and I was not out of that, so much integral part of it. And today what I felt was I was not in the physical plane, something very vast, huge, vast space and deep silence and peace, which filled the whole space which I was experiencing. There was no me or I there. Everything was one, and that energy and that peace and deep silence, which is just overflowing even now. I visited this temple day before yesterday. It's Srirangapatana near Mysore, about 100 kilometers from Bidadi Ashram. It's a very ancient temple, 1300 years old temple, Sriranganatha temple, built by Cholas. I have visited this temple many a times in the past 30-40 years, but the experience what I had this time is very unique and very intense. As I entered not even entered the main door, outside itself I was feeling the deep silence and a kind of pull for me to go inside. As I closer to the shrine, a kind of feeling connection with the deity. As the pujari was doing arati and I saw the deity, the whole thing came alive. Means it was earlier just a structure and a feel of kind of devotion used to happen, but this time it was so intense, the feeling connection with the whole space, and I felt everything is alive. And as I went round the prakaram, the outer prakaram, there were so many deities. Every deity, whether it's Anjaneya or Ganesha or all the Alvars, the devotees, Sri Vaishnava devotees, Alvars and Acharyas, everywhere they are sitting alive and blessing. I felt whoever comes here, as Swami said, the temples are the storehouse of the cosmic energy, so much vibrating. And I went to the Amman Kovil, there also, Mother is smiling and inviting everybody and blessing. It was so intense, I never felt this kind of an experience ever in my life. And even whenever I go to the temple, recently I went to another small temple in a village. I was so blessed to be there when the doors of the temple opened for the first time in the morning. The moment the door opened, I could feel the energy gushing, It was very intense experience. Even in the puja room, I feel, when I before going to sleep, I close the door and pray. And when I open in the morning, it is a huge positive divine energy. The devotion just happens. There is nothing that we have to do. We feel we are filled with divine energy.